There's good girls and bad girls everywhere. A lot of people say, oh, you can't date in Dubai. Dubai is not a good city to date. You can't meet girls. It's all escorts. Not at all. Like, there's plenty of normal girls you can meet, you can approach, and that's it. One of the three main reasons guys don't get the results they want in their dating lives usually is, number one, a lack of systems and practices. Like, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. So they need to know what to do and how to do it. That's the first thing. Number two, a lack of accountability. That's absolutely 100% true. So lack of accountability. And number three, they're isolated from other men on the same path. Like, their group of friends is not aligned with their goal. All right, what is up, guys? I'm here with Leila on relationships. We met in Dubai. We're in Dubai right now. We were part of the same mastermind. And luckily, she's in the same kind of niche as me. She's doing dating. So we connected on that, and now she's here, and we decided to do a podcast. So
I'm more on the side of helping my find a wife that then won't divorce them for money. So healthy relationship, nothing really short term. So yeah.
So she's a bit more long-term based than me, although I can also teach guys how to find a girl long-term. But usually they would have to go through a short-term phase usually before meeting that special girl that they want to be with. But anyways, Leila, maybe for my audience, if you could introduce yourself real quick, where you're from, what's your story, how did you get started with this whole coaching thing for men, and just share with the audience
should we start eating as well? So
we can start eating too. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, so it's more casual because I only had coffee.
Yeah, sure.
You guys, you can eat as well.
Yeah.
And have a cup of tea. That's what I usually tell to my guys on my channel. Have a cup of tea and just listen to my voice. Okay, so I've been in this niche for 2 years. I've worked with women, and I still work with women as well. And I work with men at the moment more. How I started and where I'm from. Okay, I'm from Russia, but I'm 75% Asian, as I always say. My father is Muslim, so the specific upbringing affected me in the way that I see and view life. And how I started it out, I started with the feminine way, and I was helping women in the business, women in the corporate world who were too masculine, too kind of,
so like boss girl energy, but not feminine enough.
Yeah, and they would be struggling to find a good man, or they wouldn't have time, or they would be struggling with their femininity. And that's an important part of our lives, and no one is really teaching that. So I started out with that, and just went on. And at a certain point, I was also working as a salesperson in different agencies and in the consulting niche. And men would ask me some advice on their relationships and their current relationships, or if they would be struggling. And then I would give them advice. And then at a certain point, I would be like, hey, I can do this for life as well. Because a lot of people are actually struggling. So that's how I started. How did you start, by the way?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I told you a bit about my story, but I can retell my story. I mean, it's always good to come back to where we started. Basically how I got started. So I actually started business with e-commerce first a few years ago. So I was in Montreal, Canada. I was living in Canada for my studies because I was in a business school there. And while I was in business school, I was always interested in how can I escape the matrix? How can I make more money? How can I become richer and, more successful? And so I started investing in e-com courses because that was the trend at the time. The trend was like drop shipping, e-commerce, making money with that. So I started investing in a few courses, started, building some e-commerce businesses. And then after a few months, I started getting traction and a bit of success during that time. But then I was also interested in psychology and marketing and communication and all of that, and seduction, because I'm not gay. I like girls. So obviously, if you like girls, you're going to try to also understand how to get girls usually, unless you're just relying on luck, which is not a good strategy if you want to get consistent results. So I wanted to get consistent results. I wanted to attract the women that I wanted. So I started reading about it. How can I attract quality women? How can I approach more women? How can I talk to women the right way? And then after a few months as well of doing that, putting myself out there, getting out of my comfort zone, I started really getting some really good results, and people started noticing it. Like my group of friends, whenever we went out, sometimes I would get the best girl in the club, or I would just make out in 2 minutes in front of them. I don't know, do something a bit like that, where they would ask me like, "Okay, how did you do this? Like, what did you do? What did you say? Blah blah blah." And so that started, the kind of the coaching thing, where I started giving them advice, and sometimes it worked for them as well. And then I started, maybe creating a bit of content around that on Facebook groups, stuff like that. And then getting my first few clients. So I was doing videos as well in the street, where I was like approaching girls on videos. And some people would tell me, "Okay, so how did you approach this girl? How did you do this?" And so I was sharing a few tips. And then once I had a guy who paid me like $300 to hang out with me for one night. It was pretty decent money for me at the time, because I was a student. So yeah, why say no to $300 just for a guy to come with me to a nightclub, right? So I was like, okay. And that was my first official boot camp, let's say. And then COVID came. I started digitalizing everything into a course, into a coaching, and I took multiple business programs who taught me how to do this. And I started this whole brand, and now I'm here, 6 years later, coaching this all over the world, being in Dubai in masterminds,
Yeah.
and here we are, me and Leila doing this full time and living off of our coaching business. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty
I'm
cool.
amazed at your boot camps around the world. Sounds absolutely magical, lovely, interesting. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it would be fun to have you one day, but unfortunately,
No, I
she
don't do
is.
this.
Okay. Okay.
No, the boot camps and then 5 guys and then walking into the club.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's gonna be your crowd. Maybe. Yeah. No, but I was about to say, because sometimes I do them in Europe, in the EU, and sometimes for you maybe visa issues and stuff. Anyways, but yeah, it's also not maybe her crowd, because she's more coaching guys on how to get healthy long-term relationship, and not necessarily getting a girl from a club. Although I met some cool girls in a club who were also relationship worthy sometimes, but yeah, it's maybe not the best environments to meet these type of girls. I don't know what you think about
You mean just in general or in Dubai, the girls in clubs?
that. In general,
Okay.
girls who go to club frequently, it's not necessarily a girl who's looking to have a long-term thing.
Yeah, interestingly enough, my brother met his wife in a club.
My business partner also, he met his current fiance in
And my mother and father, they met at a disco.
okay.
So yeah,
It's nuanced. I mean, as I said, you can meet quality girls sometimes,
and
but generally,
my parents have been living together for 28 years. So
wow,
all good. You can possibly find good girls in a club,
yeah,
but not always. So
yeah. There's good girls everywhere. There's good girls and bad girls everywhere. A lot of people say, "Oh, you can't date in Dubai. Dubai is not a good city to date. You can't meet girls. It's all escorts." Not at all. Like there's plenty of normal girls you can meet, you can approach, and that's it.
It's a matter of who you are, what you want, your values, and if you stick to your values really, really well. Because you can meet different people and you don't need to necessarily judge them because it's everyone's lives. But you say to yourself, you're doing this, I'm doing that. I won't be ever able to change your mind. I'm going to stick to my values, my people. That's how I approach life, and that's how I teach as well.
Yeah.
My clients.
And so what does your clients come to you for, you generally? Like what's the main problem you're solving for them? Why do they come to you?
Yeah. So I would say when it comes to men, I have 2 types of clients. The first type is single men who are saying, all women are shit today. All women are gold diggers and all they want is money. And I don't know where to find a good girl. I mean, this girl was cheating. This girl just wanted or took my money from him, from me. And that's why they come with me. And they're saying, I want a wife. I want a long-term, good relationship, good woman. I want to build myself into a version where I will be a man of a value. And the second type is men who are currently in relationships, but they're struggling either to commit, or they have some mental blocks. For example, I really love this woman, but I'm not ready to commit. I'm not ready to get married. I'm still growing. And then we are trying to figure out the strategy for them. And yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah, a lot of guys, I mean, it seems like a lot of your clients maybe, I mean, the first archetype, maybe they got a bit played by a girl, like she took their money or she divorced them and took half their assets or whatever.
Yeah, it's important to mention the age gap as well. Usually I have clients who are in between 25 and 32, sometimes.
Oh, so pretty young guys usually.
Yeah,
I would have thought
sometimes
like older.
Sometimes even older.
Okay.
40 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The main problem that everyone is coming to me with is this hatred towards women. You know?
Yeah, they're bitter. Yeah, they get bitter at some point. I have a lot of these clients too, where number one, they get bitter about society in general, like, oh, Western society now, you can't find a good girl. They're all brainwashed by feminism. Now it's over. If I want to find a great girl, I need to move to Russia or something.
You're quoting so many guys right now.
Yeah, a lot of guys are like that. They think the grass is greener everywhere in their city, like it's not going to work. Although I'm pretty sure if I go to their city right now, I would find a good girl. Like they're biased, you know, because they're bitter. And never get bitter. Always get better. Don't get bitter, get better. That's my advice. So that's one thing. Now, it seems like also you have an archetype of guy who is already in a pretty good relationship, but he's scared to go a level higher in the relationship, like commit to a higher level with her, like marry her or have kids with her or stuff like that. Maybe because they don't feel ready yet, maybe.
They either don't feel ready or they don't have the tools of what it takes to be in a long-term relationship, because everything that they were doing before was short-term and they know how to act in short-term and they're so used to it. But when it comes to long-term, you have to have higher emotional intelligence. You got to know how to talk in a healthy way with your woman. So you keep the peace as well as a man when you know how to talk to her in a peaceful way. Yeah, and a lot of the times those men would be quite two types as well. Either quite fiery like this, talking like this, I don't know, Arabic guys and hard to calm down themselves. Or it would be quite shy men, but they're just boiling here.
Okay. Yeah. So they're building up this kind of
resentment, maybe.
Resentment, yeah.
And they end up breaking up, a lot of them. If they don't go to me.
Yeah, because when you avoid confrontation, you create conflict all the time. Like you gotta confront things as soon as they come up. Like if you have a certain feeling with a girl and you want to say something, don't hide it for yourself and let it like build into resentment. Just confront it, be honest with the girl, and then work it out. You know. I think
like in business, as soon as you see the problem, you go and you deal with it.
Yeah, communication is key in relationships. And do you help them also keep the spark? Like, do you help them attract their woman even more and kind of game the girl? I mean, game. You see what I mean? Like, keep it fun, keep it playful.
We're talking about. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Because for long-term relationship, that's the thing. When people are in long-term relationships, they forget to sometimes to try harder.
Get complacent.
Yeah. They forget to keep the spark, and they come to me as well for the chivalry, seduction, etiquette, but for the long term. Because people who are really good at short-term mating, they're charming. They know what they're doing. A lot of the times, men who are very quick to settle down and they're more calmer, they might not have the game.
Yeah.
Or just forget about it because of the work, because they're working all the time. Yeah. So we spark it up.
You just remind me of something. I was on a podcast with a guy in Tunisia. He's a really great mentor of mine. Shout out to Ariel Betty Coaching. He's a great guy. I was in his podcast in Tunisia, and he told me, and I knew this already, but do you play chess, by the way, Leila, or not? No?
I don't play chess. No, people have tried to teach me 12 times.
Because Russian people, they play chess pretty well.
I know. My father, as he was driving me to the airport on the way here, he told me, we're going to learn how to play chess. You have to learn. I'm like, Father, people have tried to teach me so many times. I can't comprehend, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not so difficult. I mean, once you know how the pieces move and you just practice, I mean, I'm sure you can do it. You're smart enough. So what I wanted to say is, I had this guy I was on a podcast with, and he made this comparison with chess and dating. So in chess, if you don't know this, there's three stages. There's the opening of the game, like just the beginning of the game. There's the middle game, which is like how the game builds up, and then there's the end game, which is like kind of the last parts of the game where it's really crucial. You know, a lot of guys, they're good at the opening, like they're good at the initial stages of the relationship, like, you know, attracting a girl initially and gaming her initially, etc. But then in the middle game and the end game, they don't know how to keep the spark. They don't know how to retain her properly. They don't know how to keep them interested in them for a longer period of time, not just for 1 or 2 or 3 hookups, you know? And I think this is a very different skill, like obtaining a woman and retaining a woman. It's two sides of the same coin, but there's still like another skill set that's involved when it comes to retaining.
Yeah.
So definitely. And I teach both, and I know you teach more like retention than even you teach guys how to. So if a guy is now, he doesn't have any girls, do you teach him how to approach a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I currently have a 6-week challenge, walk up and win her over.
Okay.
And my guys, they get the gentleman pickup lines cheat sheet with the pickup lines examples. They just can learn, and they are divided by different locations. This one you can do at a restaurant, this one at an event, this one in an elevator as well.
Nice. Yeah, I like approaching girls in elevators. Yeah. In my building, I have an elevator in Estonia. And every time I see a beautiful girl, I try to initiate them. And I met few from there. You can approach everywhere, but go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
It's all right. So the cheat sheet plus how to make your own ones. And when they go into the 6-week challenge, then there's magic happening. And then boom, they have the dates.
Nice. What do you tell guys who, okay, they have your cheat sheet, they have the pickup lines, whatever, but for some reason, they can't get themselves to approach. Like they have a thing like in their head that's like going against that. They know what to do because you told them what to do, but they still can't do it. They can't get over that initial approach anxiety. Yeah. What would you say? What would you do to them to change that? You know, what would you do?
First of all, we understand the reason why it's happening, but we also don't go too much into it, because when it comes to coming up to anyone, walking up to anyone, even I was the same. I was really, really shy back in the days, especially in my teenage years. You just have to switch off your mind when it comes to coming up to the person, walking up, whoever it is, a man, a woman, and then you just do it. And I make them do it. A lot of people lack accountability, and a lot of people nowadays, they lack just friends who will push them. And I play a role of a friend as well. So I encourage them, and some men lack the encouragement. No, wait, a lot of men lack encouragement nowadays. That's why the OnlyFans is very popular, because there's the encouragement there from all of those girls. And that's why women who are hookers as well. Yeah. It is very popular nowadays because men are lacking the touch, the encouragement, the kind words in normal day-to-day life. So I am a friend to them. I guide them. I tell them, you know, you can do this. And then we go deeper into that. We understand different. It's always different.
Yeah.
What do? You have boot camps, so you do it with them.
I do it with them, yeah. So I have many offers like done, do it yourself, done with you, done for you. And yeah, one of the 3 main reasons guys don't get the results they want in their dating lives usually is, number 1, a lack of systems and practices. Like they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. So they need to know what to do and how to do it. So that's the first thing. Number 2, a lack of accountability. That's absolutely 100% true. Like if they had a friend of theirs who, if they just had someone with whom they could talk to about this and challenge themselves, like you do with them, like you challenge them to go and put themselves outside of their comfort zones, like that's going to push them to get results. So lack of accountability. And number 3, they're isolated from other men on the same path. Like their group of friends is not aligned with their goals. Like they're already married, or they already have they don't have any girls. They're just like playing video games or whatever. So you need to have a group of friends who's also in that path. So if you want to get girls, have a group of friends who's also into game, like who's also into dating girls and stuff.
I advise different stuff.
Because you're more into long-term stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been study and research done that if you surround yourself with people who are already married or already in relationships, it's kind of an animalistic in a way, even thing. If everyone in your tribe, they have their couples, their pairs, then you eventually will have two. Yeah. So when it comes to women, by the way, when it comes to men, if you want to get married, you have to have married friends and constantly.
If you want to get married.
Yes. Yeah. If you want the short-term stuff.
If you want to go to meet girls and have sex with them every week and date 1 to 3 girls a week, then then you need to have friends who also align with that and who want to go out and meet girls every week. So it depends, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends what you want.
Yeah.
You decide what you want. But once you decide it, put yourself in the right environments with the right group of friends who align with that and understand what to do and how to do it, and try to get accountability from either a mentor or your friends to go and take those actions. I mean, when it comes to approach anxiety, I always tell my clients, like, it's a natural thing, actually. We all have it, like you said it, you know?
Yeah, we all have it. It's absolutely normal. An advice that I can give you, you just have to push through all the negative emotions. The same way in business, when you don't feel like you can go further, you just forget about it. You gulp that bitterness and anxiety, and you just go and do it. For example, a lot of the times when it comes to, even myself, when it comes to public speaking, or yesterday at the event, the first thing that I felt was my legs are just a little bit shaking because I was nervous and excited at the same time because of everything, new people, business mastermind, and it's absolutely normal. And the thing that I would advise to people, it's normal to be insecure. Everyone is insecure about their own stuff. And you don't have to be 100% absolutely confident all the time in your life. You will never be it.
Yeah. And to be fair, also, like, once you, because the thing is, there's 2 ways to beat approach anxiety. So either you develop more competence in the skill set so that you become numb to it a bit. So myself, I've done this so many times now that approaching a girl for me feels like just making a call or brushing my teeth. Like, it's normal, you know, it's not like something outside of my regular stuff because I do it all the time. Right. But for a guy who approaches like 2 girls a year, then approaching a girl is like something crazy event or whatever, you know. So develop the competence and do it consistently so that you become numb to that, and then lower your expectations. A lot of guys also, they have like such high expectations, like, oh my god, if I don't get her number, then it's over, and blah blah blah, and I'm gonna have this reputation, and if I mess it up, then it's over with these girls. Fuck it, man. Like, lower the pressure. It's nothing. It's just an approach. It's natural to, you're a man, she's a woman. Like, it's natural to communicate. We're humans. We're social creatures. It's fine, you know, and it's not going to work with everybody. There's like the 25% rule. 25% of people are not going to like you and will never like you for some reason, you know, no matter what. So don't expect everyone to like you. You're not going to be compatible with everybody. And it's part of the game. It's a numbers game too, in a way.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. And I would also say that I was approaching people with the mindset of kind of business and strategic mindset. It's like sales. If you don't close someone, do you stop working? It's just numbers, numbers, numbers. Someone says no or goodbye. Okay, you analyze what's happening, what's maybe wrong a little bit, what you need to change, and then you go do another thing. Make it mathematic, make it analytical, a little bit, you know, tone down your emotions. And yeah, I'm saying this as a woman. Yeah. Women are quite emotional creatures. By the way, men are emotional creatures as well.
Yeah, we have emotions too.
Yeah. I'm saying this as a woman. I am nervous every time that I walk up to someone because it's nervous and excitement or everything at the same time. The new person is in front of you, then your world's in front of you. And that's so absolutely normal to be nervous about it. But yeah, approach it with analytical mindset. Make it a game in your head.
Yeah. It has to be playful. It has to be lighthearted. If you take it too seriously, like if you need it to work, it's not going to work. Like, you have to be detached from that outcome, you know?
Yeah.
When I approach a girl, I'm detached from the outcome. I'm not like, oh, if I don't get her, it's over. I don't have this whole agenda. I'm just like, okay, there's a girl in front of me. She looks pretty interesting. Let me take a bit of my time. Let's see how she is, right? And it's not like, oh, I hope she's going to like me. I'm like, okay, I hope I like her actually. I hope she's okay. Let me take a bit of my time and let's see what's up, you know? So you have to come from also the buyer's frame. The buyer's frame is probably the most important concept in game, where you don't want to be coming from a standpoint of like, oh, I'm going to be going to that girl to impress her or to sell myself to her so that she likes me. You have to be the opposite. Like, okay, I'm a high value guy. I'm on my own path. I have my business. I'm traveling. I'm doing this. I'm doing all these cool things. Now, if you don't have your business, that's okay too, as long as you're improving yourself. But you're that guy. So whether she joins the ride or not, like you're perfectly good with or without her. And there's tons of options out there. And you need to have that mindset. And you need to go from a buyer's frame. Instead of selling yourself, you try to make her sell herself to you because you have such high standards, because you know what you want, right? Now, you know, from the standpoint of a girl, you also need to have.
Yeah, I'm just trying to analyze what you're saying.
Yeah, everyone needs to play to their strengths, right? Girls too think that way. Girls too are going to have a strong frame sometimes. And there's sometimes a frame battle between her frame and your frame. And so you need to also sometimes as a man be good at reframing how she thinks and I mean, you don't want to try hard to necessarily like be in a frame battle. It has to be win-win and it has to be collaborative in a way, because you don't want to turn the interaction against each other. But yeah, when you both come from a strong frame, sometimes it's kind of this frame battle where, so you have to know how to navigate those things, and it takes game. Like you need to learn game. That's the thing. So that's why we're doing this. I mean, she's going to teach you some game. I'm going to teach you some game. We might have different style.
It's not even the style. It's the goal behind it.
Yeah, also. And so yourself, you're very elegant, by the way.
Thank you.
And you're very much into etiquette and elegance and all of that. So what would you say is the importance of having a good etiquette, being elegant, etc., when it comes to relationships with women for a man?
For a man, when it comes to etiquette. So a lot of people say that, etiquette is too posh. It's something for a queen or a lord. But the interesting fact is etiquette is an art of living and understanding how to behave in a society in the most productive and effective way. And it is a code that is backed up with psychological, logical, historical background in a way. So everything that could be out there regarding social interactions, regarding, okay, what do I do this time? What do I do if she does this? What do I do? Who goes first in a restaurant? How to be, in a way, very casual at a restaurant, or how to be very casual and caring on the street or anywhere. Etiquette teaches that. You don't need to ask many friends. You don't need to ask everyone in the world how to behave. There's etiquette. And it can teach you.
How do you learn etiquette then?
How do you learn etiquette? So there are etiquette coaches around the world. There are etiquette books. But the thing is, you will never find a just complete, etiquette guru. There are no such things. But what I would recommend is to not really work with American etiquette coaches.
European etiquette coaches are better, I think.
European is...
because they know the art of living.
Yeah,
well,
it is the standard. But the thing is, when it comes to American etiquette coaches, we got to look back into the history of America and how it all started and what it started with. So people usually don't recommend working with the American.
Sorry, there's like a.
Yeah, it's okay. People don't usually recommend working with American etiquette coaches. Better with Russian or European, because you got to look at the culture on its own and how the culture is behaving. So, yeah, etiquette for a man does matter or does not matter.
I mean, a lot of guys, I know my audience, and a lot of guys are going to say like, well, she's a woman. Like, why would I learn from a girl? Like, you don't learn from a fish how to catch a fish. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in their minds. And so how did you learn that stuff? Like, did you actually approach girls, or did you actually have a period of like, learning this for yourself? How did you learn etiquette? How did you learn cold approach? How did you learn teaching guys how to do this? Like, because they don't want to learn from someone who hasn't done it.
Yeah.
And so that might be their concern with you.
Yeah, I love this question. Okay. So when it comes to you don't learn how to catch a fish from a fish, what I say is, when it comes to business, who are you learning all the things from? You learn from your clients. those who you are targeting, because your target knows what it wants and you're the one approaching the target. So maybe you gotta ask the target itself, what does it want? But the thing with me is I understand human psychology on a good level. I've been studying psychology for 7 years already. And when it comes to men, I never judge because I know what men want. I know how men think. I know what you look at first things first. When you see a woman, I just know it and it's your nature and that's all right. And I don't judge. Men don't meet women who don't judge their instincts these days, because you will see a woman who is a feminist and she will say, "Oh my God, all men want just one thing. And it's so disgusting. All that stuff. It's just nature. They're wired to do so. What you can do with it."
Yeah.
Right. Did you know that, when a man sees a woman who he is interested in, he gets like a 2% of orgasm.
Really?
The man, yeah, that he is really attracted to.
Maybe. Well, I've had times where I saw a girl. She was so.
It's not a maybe. It's a fact. It's
Yeah,
it's
no.
a scientific
Sometimes I
fact.
see a girl, I get hard. like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I've had that, you know. But yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to say is, yeah. So there's actually this concept where attraction for a man and for a woman is a bit different.
Yeah.
So attraction for a man is more like a light switch. Like we see a girl, we instantly like her because she projects sign of fertility. Like
Yeah.
she has maybe some nice booty, hourglass form, nice face. So because of that, we're very visual.
Yeah.
We see a girl, we like her. It's like a light switch. It's almost instant. Now for a woman, attraction is a bit like more like a volume knob. It takes a bit more time because they're attracted to behavioral cues rather than, I mean, they like visual. Obviously, if a
Yeah.
guy looks good, he's tall, he's like muscular, whatever.
More women fall in love with the mind,
Yeah. Because, you know,
especially Russian women.
yeah,
Have you seen Russian men?
I've seen Russian men. Yeah. Russian men are strong men, though.
Strong, but appearance-wise, women don't look at appearances in Russia. We look at values, whether you're strong or not. So when it comes to why work with a woman, for example, when it comes to long-term relationships, because a lot of the times men out there, they will project short-term mating strategies,
Yeah.
right? When it comes to long-term, you got to ask a woman who is peaceful and calm, and she will explain it to you in a nice way of how to attract specific graceful women. Because I'm going to tell you, elegant women, graceful women, our life is just peaceful. We don't keep any drama in our lives. It's very peaceful, and you got to understand how to approach these girls, how they think, and who better to ask if not a girl who can explain it and teach you how to be in the life of this girl. Because when you're attracting or trying to approach an elegant, smart women, they just read men. They read men, they read the room. So it's a bit harder because they're intelligent as well. So some strategies might not work.
For sure, yeah. There's different, you got to adapt your game to the woman you have in front of you, you know?
Yeah.
That's very important. Like I'm going to have a different game, for example, let's say with you or with another girl, like that's from, I meet in a nightclub and stuff. Like it's going to be super different, depending on the situation and the vibe and the environment, everything. You have to be a bit of a social chameleon sometimes and try to read people, understand what would resonate the most with them, and then act that way, You got to move your pieces on the chessboard the right way at the right time. Timing is important too.
Yeah.
So, no, that's very interesting. And so part of etiquette is also style and how men dress and all of that. So do you also teach guys how to dress? Do you have some maybe style tips for the viewers here?
It's kind of a big thing for me as well, style, because I want the whole world to dress just elegantly. It would be absolutely gorgeous world, in my opinion, if everyone took 1 hour of their week to understand what they want to wear and what they want to project into this world. Because a lot of men are dressing like children, and women are not attracted to children. You got to be a man, right? And by the way,
you don't need to. Sorry.
One thing, yesterday on a mastermind, everyone dressed so, chic and elegant. I just loved it.
Yeah.
If you would like to be, let's say, a man of a high caliber, when you're in rooms with men like this, You gotta dress nicely.
I think that's one of the first compliments you gave me. In a way, I don't know, but you told me like, I liked your. I don't know. You told me, yeah, I liked your style or something. I don't know. You said something like that.
Probably.
Maybe
I like giving compliments to people. Yeah. By the way, the thing for women, don't hold back on giving compliments to people and to men as well. Men love hearing compliments regarding style or maybe hair. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a simp thing to do. It's just you being nice and charming.
Yeah, there's difference between like giving a compliment because you want the girl to like you and giving a genuine compliment because you truly feel it, you think it, you know? You have to be congruent with what you're saying. You know, it's like pickup lines. If you repeat a pickup line just because you learned it online and you don't genuinely feel it, like it's not your style, it's not what you would say normally, it's going to come across as a bit off, right? Most of the time. Speaking of pickup lines, in your cheat sheet, maybe you could share with my audience, like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 lines that could work for your clients when approaching an elegant, high-value woman.
Where? In which place?
Let's say we're walking in the marina right now and I see a beautiful, elegant woman. I want to approach her during the daytime. What would you recommend?
I have a lot there. Wait, I need to choose. I giggle every time when I look at it.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay. Excuse me, miss. I would feel like less of a man if I didn't come up and tell you how stunning you look today. It make it seem too easy. What's your name? That's it.
You'd make it seem too easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Women understand.
Okay.
There are things that you just learn. Women will understand. It doesn't have to, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it could absolutely work for sure. I mean,
it's for elegant women.
Yeah. 80% of success anyway, like 80% of success in a game is just showing up and actually saying hi. Yeah. Now, whatever you say, the opener you say doesn't fucking matter most of the time. Like literally I've opened girls with like, oh, by the way, hi, do you like mushrooms? Oh, okay. And we laugh about it. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It actually doesn't matter.
Because like, imagine James Bond, like he would open a girl with anything, he could still get away with it because he's James Bond.
Yeah, it's the voice, it's the presence, it's the aura.
Exactly. So the opener doesn't matter. But then, if you have a good opener, it breaks the ice fast and it makes the interaction hook faster, right? Because she's intrigued.
I would say openness and the words, they do matter because women fall in love with the mind of a man. Yeah,
no, it's important to be eloquent, like having good elocution and know how to talk for sure.
I can give you another one. For example, excuse me, miss, you look a bit too gorgeous today. Give other girls a chance. And then
a bit cheesy, but yeah.
Yeah. But women liked it. I showed it to all of my girlfriends, and my girlfriends are like me usually. All of my girlfriends are like me, and they loved it. Women, even if something sounds just a bit too cheesy for you, cheesy works. It's funny. It's fun. You laugh, and it breaks the ice. And the first thing that you got to do is make the girl laugh, so she's a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it's like those pickup lines like, hey girls, like we need to call the police right now because you guys are too hot. You need to be arrested or something, like things like that, you know?
Now, it makes me giggle.
Now, you have those kind of lines. Honestly, I mean, no offense.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's not necessarily my style because I'm in the school of thought because there's different school of thoughts regarding this, right?
But you're also doing the short-term thing. I'm the long-term thing.
No, but even the long-term thing. Sometimes when you give your power away too soon, when you reveal interest too soon, and you tell the girl, oh, hi, you're so gorgeous, like blah, blah, blah. And you're like over, like kind of complimenting her and validating her.
Yeah.
In my experience, it's going to work with some girls for sure. But a lot of them, because you gave your cards away too soon, there's no chase anymore. There's no intrigue anymore. Like, oh, okay, this guy likes me. That's over. Okay, now I need to decide whether I want to be with him or not. It's not like there's no challenge. It's not like, oh, I wonder if he likes me. I wonder if is he likes me or not? Why is he talking to me? So that's why I don't reveal my interest straight away. I try to be a bit more like, I could be like, hey, you know what? I was walking. I know it's random. but I just saw you. You looked interesting. I had to come say hi. And I like to say interesting rather than, oh, so gorgeous, blah, 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 because interesting could be a bit neutral. Like interesting in what way? Is it in a good way, in a bad way? Is it like, so it leaves her wondering. So it depends. I'm not saying your advice isn't good.
And also girls will answer when you say the word interesting, they will say, why interesting?
Yeah, also, you see?
And then you have a conversation.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes my opener is just like, hey, do you speak English? And then it gets my foot in the door, and then I can start talking like, oh, okay, nice, you have an accent. Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And like, you start without opener, you know?
Classic.
Yeah, it's like, hey, do you speak English? Or, hey, are you from here? Blah, blah, blah. And then you start, you know? It doesn't need to be like, oh, hey, miss, I thought you were stunning, and blah, blah, blah. Like, sometimes you can assume familiarity. That's one of my advice as well. Sometimes assume it's already open. Assume like, you don't need skip the opener. Like, hey, do you speak English? Or, hey, where are you from? Or, hey, I like your dress, by the way. Blah, blah. Like, directly, you know? So, yeah. And so, how long should a guy wait until he asks the girl to be his girlfriend and wait for sex too, actually? Like if he wants to have an elegant, high value woman long term. Because I'm in the school of thought that you should sleep with a girl pretty much as soon as possible in a way. I know it's not a good advice for the guys that you're trying to coach, or for my guys, I think sex is the biggest investment a woman can make in you. And I don't want to delay that investment too far, because if I date her for 2 months without her investing anything sexually, then for me, it's a bit like I've been investing attention without receiving anything in return in a way sexually. Because we have different currencies, right?
Okay, you asked 2 questions. What was the first one?
The first one was, but I wanted to make a point real quick, okay? Yeah. So basically, we all have a currency we're exchanging in the relationship, right? Now, as a man, usually we give attention, and as a woman, you give sex, nurturing, stuff like that. Now, we also give sex as a man, but usually for a man, sex is more valuable to get from a woman, and a woman wants to get from a man more like attention, resources, etc. So my question was, how long should a guy wait after he's been dating a girl to potentially
sleep with her,
number one, and make her his girlfriend?
Girlfriend. Okay, the thing with me is I also work with a lot of Muslim people or people of religion. And
yeah, I'm Muslim, by the way. I come from Tunisia.
And when it comes, but I work with highly religious people, and the thing with them is you cannot sleep and even touch a woman unless you marry her.
Yeah, that's
in one way or another.
Strict Islam. Yeah. There's different types of Islam, by the way. There's like the modern Islam, which is more like Sufism. That's more like a bit laid back, where you can still have sex and stuff, but you still believe in God, you pray and stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
It will always depend on every client of mine, but let's say couple of months.
Couple of months to sleep with her?
Yeah, because it always depends on a woman and her understanding your intentions. Because yes, the woman can give you this, but what is the purpose behind it? She needs time to understand what are your intentions. Are you willing? The elegant women are usually willing to date to marry, maybe not legally, but just with an intention of being with the person the whole life. And you gotta invest into that.
Yeah.
And it will depend on every. There's no such question, but I would say there's no answer to that.
It depends when she's gonna feel comfortable enough to.
When she's gonna be comfortable enough, when you will make her feel comfortable enough. What are your intentions? Because if you are in the short-term mating strategies, as soon as possible, that's your goal. That's why you want it so fast. But when you're in long-term, you can play. You can leave the hints for a couple of months and then lead into it. Why I'm saying that? Because I come from rather traditional background and my parents love me. I have a healthy household and a healthy family, and me giving in really, really fast in a matter of
hours or days.
Yeah, in a matter of 1 day or hours. That's what we have. That's our value. We're not giving it in.
Yeah, women have the keys to sex and men have the keys to commitment. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
And myself personally, I don't want to commit to a girl unless I have sex with her first, because I want to test the product before buying it long term. Now, with a girl, I know it's true. I mean, I think most guys think like me, to be honest. Most guys.
Yes, I know that. But that's why I'm here to explain to you how women think.
Yeah.
And what you'll have to go through.
Yeah.
And what you'll have to respect as well.
For sure, yeah. Always respect. I mean, I always tell girls, like, look, I'm not gonna want to rush things with you. Like, we're gonna have sex when we're both ready. I'd love to make love to you and we're gonna have amazing sex, but if you're not ready, that's fine. I can wait, no rush. I'm having a great time with you regardless. And that's fine. But then also, if you're a man that values his time and you're a business guy and you have a lot of things to do and you travel a lot, time is very precious. And you don't want to waste your precious time on going on dates every week if you feel like the girl is playing too hard to get, or she's like not giving you what you want at some point after a reasonable amount of time. I'm not saying first date, but second, third, fourth.
Are we talking? Yeah, fourth. Yeah,
fourth. That would be already.
That's the thing.
That would be max for me. If the girl is really wow, like.
Are we talking
crazy
about
good.
short term or long term?
I'm talking about both. No, short term. Short term, it's like first date for me. Short term, it's like first date.
Yeah.
Long term, I could wait 3, 4, whatever.
I would say for European kind of mindset, in order to stop the animalistic behavior of some people, giving in the first 5 minutes and all that stuff. The classic is fourth date, I would say.
That's the baseline.
But if you're not religious, we're going to have a talk. If you are, it will always depends on the person, because some men, they don't like women who are too maybe needy to attach to them. But if you sleep with her, she will naturally become a bit more attached, because our hormones blend with the man's hormones, and on a biological level, she will want to be with you.
I heard that many times. Some girls have told me this many times. Like, oh, if I sleep with you, our hormones and our DNA are going to get attached together, and it's dangerous for me because we're going to fall in love too quick. Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's life.
Yeah. What I don't quite like general advice. That's why I like to work one-on-one mainly, because it will be suitable. It will be custom,
personalized, tailored to the person
every single time. Yeah. If you are trying to listen to someone online, please keep it analytical, keep an open mind, because it's general and you will always have something.
Nuances and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't always take things at face value. Always question it and try to adapt it to your own personal situation.
Yeah, that's why I'm always very cautious when it comes to giving advice. There are so many people on the internet giving some BS advice. This Myron guy.
Myron Gaines, fuck that guy.
Like if he would be sitting next to me, I would be scared for my life. The way that he talks, the way that he moves,
he's off, definitely.
Yeah.
I used to vibe with the red pill content when I was following Tate. I still like some of the things Tate say. I think he's a gentleman in a way, like he's elegant in a way. I mean, his brother, Tristan, his brother, he dresses super well, he's very elegant, but he's a bit of a gentleman playboy, let's say.
They're both playboys.
Yeah, but they're gentlemanly. Like, they're not gonna, do stuff that's out of the line. Like, they know how to talk to girls in a way that makes them feel comfortable. I've seen them many times in those environments, and they're very savvy.
Yeah, probably they're charming, but when I would be seeing them online, I never seen them with an elegant woman or with a pretty woman.
Depends, yeah.
I never seen them on a video with a pretty woman, and they would be bragging about being with a specific model. That model would be absolutely like Botox, lips, all made. And I don't see that as pretty. And if you don't like, superficial stuff, then don't listen to them.
I agree. There's a bit of that for sure.
If you don't like short-term mating and sleeping around and you're ready to settle, don't listen to them. However they look, it doesn't matter. That's my opinion.
So what are the most common mistakes guys are making usually, and how do you coach them on solving them? Do you have a few examples?
Most mistakes, they're listening to guys like them.
Okay, like Myron Gaines and and they become too brainwashed by it.
My audience is like in the comments, they're saying that my channel is like a next step after Red Pill and Manosphere. Guys saying that after this hooking up time, them being young, they come to advice like the one that I give. So what men usually are struggling with, all the typical stuff, it's either I don't have enough money, I need to make a certain amount of money, and then I'm going to date properly. And it's all on all levels.
Yeah.
If a man is making zero, and if he's making, I don't know, 1 million and he wants to make 10 million before committing.
He feels ready. Yeah, that's what I call the self-improvement trap.
Yeah.
When I'll make this, when I'll be that, then I'll feel ready. And that's a trap. You need to start now.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you want to feel actually peaceful in your life, you got to go through it, and we're going through it, because all my successful cases, in a way, men were on different stages of their life. They would be not working, starting to date the girl. She would stay with the man, and then he would grow eventually, and she is with him. It's not a matter how much money you have. It's a matter of your values and the way that you present yourself and the way that you show to the woman that you respect her by your behavior. So, yeah, usually the money thing, because we have this, how do you call it? Brainwashing on the media. You got to make tons of money. You got to look like a Chad. You got to look, have 6 packs and all that stuff. No, absolutely not. You don't have to be happy.
So many guys are into what we call looks maxing, like, you need to do the jaw lines and you need to do this and you need to do your hair a certain way. Otherwise, like, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Obviously, you need to take care of yourself, like go to the gym, dress well, do that type of stuff. But I've seen guys who were literally fat and they were getting girls because they were putting themselves out there. Same, I've seen skinny guys getting girls because they were putting themselves out there. That's it, There's guys who look max all day, go to the gym all day, take all these creams and supplements and hair. They don't get laid at all.
Then the ugly guys who have the game, who understand female psychology, that's the thing.
Yeah.
They understand it, or they've been with, they have friends, maybe female friends. They understand it, so they don't care. And that's the thing. Appearance, you cannot attach your value to your appearance ever, because when you're going to get older, you're going to be 90 years old, your man will leave you for a woman who is younger because he chose you in the beginning for the appearances. There's this case that one divorce lawyer had a 90-year-old man divorcing his wife and leaving her for a 50-year-old woman. At 90 years old, still the man is thinking with something that is in his pants, So it will never leave you. You got to have control. So what men are going to me for?
Controlling your urges is very important. Even like, I don't know if you had guys who struggle with porn addiction, things like that.
Yeah.
I've had a few, and this is a big one too. Like if you're always like masturbating to porn every week and stuff, you're not going to get the desire or urge to go outside of your house and actually do it with real women. And it gets you used to just doing it with a screen, instead of putting yourself in real life. So also removing bad habits, removing porn, removing even like drugs and stuff. Like I recommend my guys not to drink most of the time. Yes, you can have a drink or two. Like I'm going to have a drink or two later on a yacht, whatever, in a business event. That's okay. But if you drink every day to escape your life, if you go to porn to escape the fact that you're not getting girls, if you do things just out of escapism, then you're never going to solve this problem. So that's one thing as well that I've seen that's pretty big.
Also, lack of friends.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I advise to all my clients. Have more friends, male, female. That's the first thing to healthy relationship, the start of relationship. And then when you're going to be in a relationship, you have someone apart from your partner, to discuss all the maybe bad or good things in your life. Because when for men and for women as well, when you are like this onto your man, like, oh, I have this problem, and then he as well doesn't have any friends, and you're just in this bubble of everything that is happening in your life, and you don't have anything to share it with, then it never works. People usually break up. So have friends, have a good social network.
Yeah, social circle is a big part. I mean, part of my program is social circle too, because I teach cold approach, I teach online, I teach social circle. And yeah, you gotta, if you're gonna live in a city long term, like more than 3-6 months, it's all in your advantage to cultivate a group of friends that are on the same path, who are also going out, etc. You need to have a social circle. If you're just like a loner going in the streets, roaming the streets, trying to get girls without zero friends, you have no social circle, even if you invite a quality girl into your life, it's going to be a red flag. Like, you don't have any friends. What the fuck? Like, why? You know, you don't have any. That's weird, right? So you need to also, if you're going to bring a quality woman into your life, introduce her to a group of friends so that she sees that you're a normal guy. You have good friends around. You're not like this loner pickup guy who just doesn't have a life outside of that.
Because your friends are your face as well. That's why everyone says
your friends are your face. I like that one.
Choose your friends carefully. For example, I don't have many friends at all.
Yeah.
I have less than 5 friends around the world and here. And if I'm going to introduce some other person into my life and they're going to know them, they're going to be like, oh my God, you're amazing. You are yourself, sophisticated, graceful, and your friends are the same, men and women.
Yeah.
So it's very important. Yeah.
Also, in my mastermind, so in my program, I have a mastermind group with guys all over the world. So if you ever join, for example, the dating accelerator or my programs, I'm going to connect you with guys all over the world as well. We also have wingmanship groups in every city in the world I can connect you with. So let's say you're in Dubai, you don't know any guy, you want to go out. Well, I can connect you with guys there who are also going out meeting women. You're in London, Paris, New York, doesn't matter where. I can connect you with guys who are into business, who are into dating, who are into improving their lives. So that's one thing too. Yeah. Now I know we need to.
My thing.
Yeah. Also, of course, I was about to actually feature your stuff. So we need to wrap up soon, but Leyla is amazing at what she does. I'm pretty sure about that. Like I've talked with her and I've seen the results she's getting for her clients. So if you're more like long-term focused, you know you want to get married, you know you want to get like an elegant woman long-term, and maybe you don't resonate with sleeping around a little bit before you do that, or dating a bunch of women before you do that, then maybe Leyla is more suited for what you're looking for. So how can people find you? What does your program consists of? Like how does it work? How can people find you?
Yeah, so I think maybe include the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll include the YouTube channel in the notes.
Yeah, you can book a call with me. We're going to discuss what we can do for you. I have different kind of offers. The group calls, the one-on-one, offline, online, depends on where I am in the world. We can work hourly, one-on-one, or again, in the group coaching calls. In the group coaching calls, men don't have to show their face. You can stay anonymous because everyone is very personal, but it's also depending on the money that you have. Because I'm a bit pricey. Because
it's an investment.
Yeah, it costs you a lot to invest into a woman who then won't divorce you and leave you with empty pockets.
Better invest 5K in a program that makes. I don't know if your program is 5K. It doesn't matter. But better invest like high ticket into a program that really teaches you everything, so you don't make the mistakes of marrying a girl who's going to take half your assets. That's going to cost you 500,000 or something.
I also give my clients a base that they will use throughout their life when they're going to be married, when they're going to have children. I give you tools that will allow you to be at peace no matter what is happening in life. And I think the link will be fine.
Yeah, I'll put Leyla's YouTube channel. If you have any links, you can send me later. I'll put them as well. And one thing I want to finish with is, and I've told this to you yesterday, is like for most guys, look, if you want to get a great long-term girlfriend at some point, I truly believe, in my opinion, maybe it's not Leyla's opinion, that you should date a bunch of ones first so that you understand what kind of women you truly like, so that you understand female psychology better.
Yeah.
You have more references, and that way you come from a place of abundance instead of a place of scarcity when you date a woman long term,
Yeah. So if you don't like the word dating, because maybe we'll have some Muslim people watching.
Meeting,
getting to know.
Have a coffee with a bunch of girls. That's
chatting, getting to know how people think, how women think, how they talk, and, not being scared of them.
Yeah. Meet a bunch of girls. If you don't want to sleep with them, just have a coffee with them, walk around with them, see how they think, see what you like, and then pick the right girl out of a place of abundance, not from a place of scarcity. That's my final advice. Leyla, maybe you want to add something?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
A piece of advice. Maybe just remember that the universe is big and you're just one little speck. So it doesn't really matter. Do whatever you want to do. Don't be scared too much about life and get out of your bubble.
Yeah, your feelings are always gonna get in the way. So fuck your feelings in the short term. Just fuck your feelings, do it anyway, and you'll see. Like, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. That's a beautiful quote. And every time you feel resistance, that's a sign that you should go for it, because that's an important action you need to take, probably, if you resist it. So go towards resistance and just do it. Fuck your feelings. Just approach these women, and nothing bad is gonna happen. Worst case, they're gonna tell you, I have a good boyfriend. I don't have time. Sorry, I'm not interested. That's the worst thing. And the best thing is, you get a girlfriend, you get a wife, you get a beautiful partner,
And you get peace.
and you get peace, and you're proud of yourself. Because even if you approach a girl and she rejects you, you're still proud you did it. So you get the confidence boost that, okay, yeah, I'm the type of guy who goes for what he wants.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
taking.
I'm an action taker, not a guy who lets opportunities slip away all the time, right? And that boosts your confidence not only with women but also in business, in your life, everything.
Okay.
Anyways, we need to
wrap
go,
it up.
guys. We gotta run. We have a yacht day to go to. But see you, and hope you enjoyed this podcast. And drop your comments if you have any comments. Subscribe, and see you on the next.
Bye.